Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. This week, we're on episode 97.
97?
I know, and it is a special edition. We're doing Mother and Sundays today.
I'm a mum.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day.
What are you two doing?
Well, stick around if you want to hear more. Well, hello, Dad.
Hello, Dad, me, Conor. What the hell was going on?
Son.
Yeah,
Your
what the hell
Father
was
and
going
Sundays. You're David.
Yes, I am. Oh, well, am I, Lo?
Or Father
Well, I
and
am
Sundays.
David, but am I still part of this?
Well, it's a very special episode of Father and Sundays today because it's actually Mother's Day. So I've renamed the podcast Mother and Sundays.
Why couldn't it be Father and Mother's Day? Why did I have to drop out?
Because
I feel
that's the way
betrayed.
it naturally works, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. I do feel a little bit betrayed, though.
Yeah, well, don't worry.
Just
because,
happened to be walking past the room while you were recording it.
Yeah.
Just couldn't believe what was happening.
Well, don't worry, because the person who recorded that section with me, which was Annie,
Yeah.
My sister, your daughter,
Yes.
she's had to go.
Has she? Where's
Yeah.
she gone? Home?
She's gone home. But don't worry, she'll be back later.
Oh, she'll be back later. Blimey.
Yes.
What, she's going to drive all the way back to Nottingham and then come back again?
Yeah,
later?
sure. That's exactly how it's working. So, it's a very special episode. We have got a guest on today who will be...
Who's that?
That's Annie.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we'll be speaking to her at the end of the episode, but we have already recorded that.
Have we?
Yeah, so we've
Okay.
had to go back a bit. It's very, very confusing.
It is
It's like
very
time
confusing.
travel.
It's more confusing than normal, and normally it's very confusing.
Yeah. So we got Annie on because she happened to be here for one.
Yeah.
We did want to speak to her anyway, but it was perfect that she happened to be here. Otherwise, we would just have to send her messages. But she became a first-time mum. So this is her first Mother's Day as a mum. So we thought, who better to talk to than a first-time mum?
Oh,
About
quite.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she doesn't know whether it's going to be good or bad yet because we recorded it before Mother's Day, but...
Yeah, but hang on, isn't Mother's Day this? When's Mother's Day? What date's Mother's Day? Do you know?
It's today, today, Dad, the day the podcast come out.
Oh, is it? All right,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Oh, so hopefully she'll be having a nice, and she.
So, do we have to do that thing where I hope everyone's had a great Mother's Day?
Oh,
I
that
hope
was
you've had a terrible Mother's Day.
That was a terrible
Yeah, it was a
Mother's
terrible
Day.
Mother's Day.
Everybody forgot. That was the best Mother's Day ever.
Yeah.
No, it must be.
Do you enjoy being a mum?
I do enjoy being a mum. Yes, it's great. But no, it's quite a nice thing for. I mean, I know that obviously, baby David won't necessarily. Although he's grown up quite fast, so he may have been down the shops
of
and
him
walking on with
walking
walking
a
things.
thing,
I know it's
yeah.
unreal, isn't it?
He wasn't doing that last week.
I watched a video of him shaving this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a video of him at a club.
Did you?
Yeah.
When was that? Early evening?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a video of him with his own family. Right. Anyway, right. Because he is growing up. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
He's growing up quite quickly. I do apologise. I
Lovely
know I'm coughing and
grandchildren though he's
sniffing
got,
quite a
isn't
lot.
it?
Yeah, the grandchildren's unbelievable. Yes, so he's not going to be waking up and going, Mum, Happy Mother's Day. But it's so lovely for
It's
her.
going to be more like, Mum, I'm hungry.
Yeah, quite. And I think last Mother's Day, we were aware that she was going to be...
She had a small bump on board.
She had a small bump on board, and she was going to... I think we talked then
Quite
about the
literally,
fact that
in
next
4
Mother's
months,
Day...
we brought to life.
Yeah, it's amazing,
Like the Ed
isn't it?
Sheeran song.
Yeah.
Although
Anyway,
I'm
but that's...
pretty sure that has a sad ending to it. So.
Oh, yeah, let's not talk about that then. No. Yeah, so it's her first proper Mother's Day. I think she may have got a card from the bump last year, but this is the proper Mother's
This one,
Day.
she gets a fist bump.
Fist bump. Yeah, she probably will do. And much, much more. So will you, that's actually made me think, will you be doing the same as you did last year for your own mother?
What did I do last year for Mum?
Well, I was wondering, because you told me, I said, what are you going to do anything for Mum? You said, I'm going to do what we normally do. And then you rattled off all this stuff that you were going to do, and I wondered if you
yeah.
remembered what
No,
it was.
I'm going to do all that stuff.
So what do you
No,
remember?
I don't need to repeat myself because it's already recorded on the podcast, and we don't repeat ourselves on this podcast.
I think we do. We do it quite a lot. So it's going to be exactly the same as normal, is it?
Yeah, exactly the same as normal.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So can I have a little reminder of what we should expect then?
Yep.
On Sunday. So apparently at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be on the landing, doing a guard of honour and playing bugles.
Yep.
While she goes into the bathroom to wash her face.
Yep.
Because that's what you said last time,
I did,
and you'll be playing
That's what I do
outside
every
the
year.
bathroom, right? And then, are you still going to get her the sort of? Well, it's not breakfast in bed, but sort of go down and boil the kettle and do the drinks. You going to do that? You
Yep.
do it the same as normal?
Yeah, do it the same as normal.
Because last time, right, you told me you make her a ceremonial cup of tea.
Yep.
In an extra long mug,
Yep.
a 3 foot
Yeah,
mug,
3 foot mug.
a 3 foot mug so she can drink that all day
Yeah, it's a
and for the
long-lasting
week
tea.
as well. You said
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
which sounded pretty disgusting. What are you going to give her with though? That cup of tea? Do you remember what you're going to
Yeah,
do?
of course
Have
I
you written it
remember.
down? So what? Is it going to be the traditional plate of McVitie's biscuits?
Yep.
Like all the different McVitie's biscuits that they've ever made. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's all in place as well.
Yep.
And you're going to finish it off like
Yep.
you did last year?
Like I did last year and every other year before that.
Yeah. And I'm going to press you on this one. How do you finish it off? What activity do you all do to make it as special as the previous year?
Well, actually, I'm thinking of finishing it differently this year, just slightly, as
What,
well as doing the
'cause you
normal
can't
thing.
remember?
As well as doing the normal thing, we're going to do a flash mob.
A flash mob. That's
mob, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah,
write
get
that
the
down
whole-
to test you next year.
Get the whole street involved.
Yeah?
Yep.
So is that in place of the bungee jump or as well as the bungee jump?
The bungee jump is implemented into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a bungee jump off the top of the house.
Is there? Is
Yeah.
there really?
Yeah.
By the way, your mum, right? Your mum is so pleasant that everybody says what a joy she is to be with. Did you know that?
Yeah. I forgot that we were doing reverse your mum jokes today.
Did you know? I'll tell you what. Do you know? Your mum's so beautiful that whenever I look at her, my heart skips a beat. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you're desperately trying to think of something to say yourself, can't you? So
That
anyway.
smell, that's
Yeah.
lovely. So's your mum.
So's your mum. Oh, I like it. Nice. Right. Okay. Right. So, Mother's Day. We've ascertained what you're going to do for
Your
Mum.
mum makes such delicious lemon drizzle cake that I'll always remember it. It's going to be one of my favourite cakes ever, forever.
Is it?
Yep.
It'll always be, will it?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you something to do as well. When
What?
you're...
Sorry, do you want to try that
Oh,
again?
I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you something else, right? I'm so angry about this. I'll tell you something else. When your mum cooks, everybody enjoys it and comments on how delicious it is. So take that. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Your mum is so caring that she sews up my clothes when there's holes in them.
Really? She
Yeah.
does, yeah? Is that your mum or my mum?
Both have done it.
All right, okay. If your mum was a mum, right, she'd be the best mum in the world.
So's your mum.
That's your mum.
Your mum
Yeah.
had such soft skin,
Yeah.
it was like stroking someone with soft skin.
Someone with soft skin, if your mum was a car, she'd be a top of the range but environmentally responsible sports car. I'll tell you something else. You know who lights up a room whenever she walks into it? Your mum. Do Do you understand that? Do you know that? Do you know your mum?
We can keep going.
I've got one
Are you
more.
gonna save more?
I've got one more. Your
We've done them
mum
all.
is the reason that our holidays are booked, organised, and full of memories. Anyway,
That was
Right.
fantastic. I enjoyed that.
did you enjoy that?
Yeah. Let's see if we can come up with more and just throw them in random.
I'll try and think of a few more. I meant to say that there was a comment about last week's. And I feel
Yeah, normally
probably
we do that at the end,
but
but
we
it's
won't do
fine.
that at the end this time. But there was a comment about last week's. Was last week's William Shakespeare?
No.
Yes, it was. Was it?
Last
no,
week was
Ireland.
Ireland.
The previous one to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
not last week's episode.
So not
Episode 95, if you're wondering.
episode 90. You're kidding me. Episode 95. So what are we on now?
97.
97.
Are you just trying to fill in the gap whilst you try and find the comment?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous, really, because I could have set this up earlier, but that's not the way I do things. But it is the
Do you want me
difficult.
to fill in the gap?
Eh?
Do you want me to fill in the gap?
You could fill in the gap with something if you feel that
Your mum?
My mum, yeah.
Had the most amazing hugs.
Did she?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you think so, because I think that as well.
Your mum
Yeah.
used to take me to the cinema when I was a child, and I enjoyed the time I spent with her.
Oh, I bet you did. I bet you did. Anyway, enough of that.
Okay.
She was talking about there being, this is Annie, she said a conspiracy theory that Shakespeare's wife,
Anne Hathaway,
yeah,
not the actress.
no, and basically, so Shakespeare's wife is Anne Hathaway,
Not the actress.
no, but the actress Anne Hathaway, her husband looks like William Shakespeare. Although you don't really know what William Shakespeare looks like.
No,
That's
well,
came down.
yeah, then that's true. It's like Schrodinger's cat.
And he wrote, "Life is too short." Not Anne Hathaway, the actress's husband. This is
William
Shakespeare. He wrote, "Life is too short to love you in one. I promise to look for you in the next life." And the conspiracy theory is that Anne Hathaway, the actress, and her husband are William Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway halfway in a new life.
Halfway used to be a character in EastEnders.
Did it? I thought it was Wellard.
No, I think Halfway might have been, isn't it one of the characters that's on there now? I don't know. Okay. Interesting thing. So, as we didn't know what Shakespeare looked like,
Yeah, that's the only problem.
but that makes sense, because if we didn't know what this means that this is true and false at the same time, because it's the Schrodinger's cat situation. If the cat is in a box, it will
Yeah.
be simultaneously alive and dead at the same time until you open the box. That's assuming you can't smell it.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, if we don't know what Shakespeare looked like, he both looks like Shakespeare and doesn't look like Shakespeare simultaneously.
Ah, I like
So,
where
yes.
you're going with that. Yeah.
It's both true and not true simultaneously.
At the same time. No, I'm quite happy with that then. So that's absolutely true.
Shed News. The wind blew the plastic sheets off the shed today, upending both traffic cones. I had to crawl over the roof, pinning it back on.
Your mother-in-law and her best friend Joan were amazing to me and my sisters in her childhood and used to take us on plenty of holidays which were all cherished forever in our hearts, and I love them for it.
How
Many
dare you.
great memories.
Ah, I'll tell you who drives both safely and efficiently, your mum. Anyway,
Nice.
look. So, Mum, Mother's Day, right? What about your mum makes her
Sorry,
so
can you
special?
say that again?
What about your mum?
No. What about your mum?
What about your mum? What things about your mum makes her so special?
Apart from the obvious.
Well, is that because you can't think of anything?
No. So my mum is
Yeah,
a
your
wonderful
mum.
human being.
Yes.
She cares in her own way.
Yeah. In her own way. Can you elaborate on that? Are we going to get you into trouble here? She doesn't listen to it. Don't matter.
Potentially.
She's had loads of compliments already.
No, yeah, she has had a load of compliments.
Really aggressive compliments.
Passive aggressive compliments. No, my mum is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person, and she cares a lot. And what I love about mum is that the way she cares is different to how you care as well. And I think it's nice to have a balance, to have that parent that cares so much, like you care a lot, and you're always worried. But then mum cares an equal amount, but she worries less.
So, in a way, I'm the best parent out of the two. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say that.
I do worry. I know we're talking about mums, but I am
you worry an awful lot.
Terrible. Well, sometimes people make you worry because they say things to you, and then you start worrying about what they've said to you. And
Is this about what I said earlier?
Yeah, I don't want to go into it, but when someone comes in and says certain things to you, you think, what?
No, we can go into it if you want.
Right. Okay.
Should we go into it?
If you want to go into it.
I asked, out of just pure curiosity, because I'd already heard someone mention it, and I thought, that is an interesting thought. What would happen, the stuff that they euthanize animals with, what would happen if a human took it? Would they either just get tired or would they get ill? I don't know what it does. I don't know whether it just makes them tired to the point that it stops their heart, or I don't know whether it makes them ill to the point that it stops their heart. I just don't know. So I just had to... almost a morbid, but an interest as to what happens.
But why would you want to know that? What?
Just in case I accidentally
get put down at a vet's.
Yeah. Oh, we've accidentally
take you instead of a pet to the vets.
I am furry.
You are. And that could. Yeah, I could see how that would.
They might think I'm a golden
bearded
retriever.
Dragon.
Oh right.
Yeah. No. Fair enough. But I just.
Mum is also a wonderful baker.
A baker, wonderful baker. Yeah.
Yeah, she helps me with the cooking. Like when I need to know how to do something, though she does it in a way that's like, oh, just look, just do it. Either do it or don't. But she does it in a caring way.
She says
and
it.
She helps
in
me.
A
She guides
way.
me as to what's maybe the best way of doing things, and also tells me in a very nice way, you're gonna wash it up.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
No, she cares for me a lot. She's always been there. She's a wonderful person.
Aggressively and violently about you. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
She squeezes my face when it's got spots on it.
Oh, lovely.
Sometimes she checks my back. Sometimes she scratches
back.
Sometimes she scratches the back of my head.
So
but
like
she often gets very aggressive about that one too.
So when So we're learning a lot about your mum. She sounds like a real sweetheart.
I love her.
Yeah.
I do. Honestly, I love her.
Yeah.
And I love how aggressive she gets about things because it almost makes me laugh. It's funny. I like winding her up.
In a way, what you're saying is you love how indifferent she seems to be about anything and everything.
But the thing is, she always has your best interest in mind.
Of course she does. And that wasn't sarcastic. That wasn't, of course she does. No, she, without a doubt, she's a very, very caring person.
I love how she can watch TV and sit on a laptop and her phone all at the same time.
Even though we've ascertained on a previous podcast
that you can't
multitask, yeah?
Yeah.
I
love the way she ignores that fact and still continues doing it.
I don't think she cares what other people think. Well, I think she does care what other people think of her, but just not what we think of her.
No, she's grown old disgracefully.
She is. She is indeed.
And it's great.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's...
Well, what do you like about your mum?
What I liked about my mum?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my mum...
She had very soft skin.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Aggressively soft.
I liked the fact that my mum... In parts of my life, let's try and get this so it makes sense. So, when I was... a child, my memories of when I was a child, my mum was a certain thing to me then. Then when I became a teenager and younger, she was something different
I
again
think
to
this
me.
is the thing. I'm almost seeing it as if as mum is now.
Yeah, and as my when and it sounds a bit funny this, but I think we talked about this before. But when my dad died 26 years ago.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Did he die in 97?
he died in the year I was born. No, not the year I was born. The year I got married. God's sake, what's the matter with me? I was going to say you were born, but you were born 98.
All of it was wrong.
So it was 97, yeah. Everything I said then was
Apart
wrong.
from when you got married.
But
So yeah, about
then
26
my
years.
mum became something different again. And I mean this in the nicest possible way, but my dad was a big personality. I mean, a shy bloke, but he was very funny and would entertain everybody. My mum then became that person, but in a different way. And she was incredibly funny and used
She
to
was,
do
yeah.
some really funny things. So her sense of humour and the fact I could sit and we could both laugh our heads off, really laugh about the most ridiculous things, was something really special. So her sense of humour was great. She every now and again used to come out with these things that just blew our minds. Some of the stuff she would do.
Your mum
My mum, yeah,
was so crazy,
yeah.
but in all the right ways.
Really, you
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
Your mum? Do you know dances like a pro? Your mum? No, actually, that don't sound too. No, when I say pro, I mean professional, not prostitute. Right, okay, because I realised what that sounded like when I started saying that. Then, anyway, back to my mum. Sorry, I know it just went wrong. That didn't it? Very wrong.
I didn't think you meant prostitute.
Well, no, it
but
just
now
like
I do.
right. Okay, no, she doesn't. She dances like a professional. She doesn't dance at all
Professional
like a
prostitute.
prostitute. Although I don't really know what a prostitute dances like. So anyway, so
You've dug a hole.
yeah, I just fill that in that big hole I've just dug.
Yeah, I think you've done it perfectly.
So
Yeah.
NJ, as in my mum, she was caring. She was always available and always listened. A good listener. Just gave you a sense of warmth when you were with her. That is, you
It's
know,
often because she always had the heating on. but-
very much missed. But she was just, she took the mick out of herself. She was just a really incredible person that I saw become a different person when she was, unfortunately, when she was on her own. But she became a completely different person. But you know, just incredible, an incredible woman. So
Yeah.
we've been lucky, actually. We are very lucky that
My
we've
mum's
got.
hilarious as well.
My mother-in-law's the same as well. Really, really strong women.
I've watched Nan lift a bus.
Have you?
Yeah. She's that strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double decker or single decker?
No, double decker's the chocolate.
No, I was just going to ask you what is that to eat.
Yeah. Your mother-in-law
Yeah.
makes the best roast dinners.
You're joking. Your mum has blonde hair that is the colour of sunshine and smells like freshly cut flowers. Right. Anyway.
Your mum helped me make a little penguin, and then later on in life, she made lots of little other penguins that she used to bring home and leave in my
Right, so
bedroom over Christmas. I've not finished.
Sorry.
And now I see them, and I have fond memories of the time we used to spend together creating Christmas decorations, the two of us.
Right, that's lovely. Thanks for that. That is just sums up that she used to make these funny little penguins out of toilet tubes, think it was hilarious, and then thought it was the best thing ever. When I used to take them back, she said, "What are you going to do with them?" I said, "I'll just put them around his room and I won't tell him they're in there." And she thought that was absolutely hilarious. That pretty much sums her up.
Your mum would also find it hilarious that I've got the big spoon in my room as well.
Yep, that got hidden in your room as well.
Yeah.
But
Your mum
Right.
and your mother-in-law
yeah.
were so wonderful in the fact that we went to Florida with them, but they got very wet on Popeye's and Pluto's bilge rat barges.
They got absolutely drowned on that, didn't they? That was quite a special moment, and one of the best photos I think we have in our possession of that one. Look, we've ascertained you've got a lovely mum.
You've got a lovely
I've
mum
got a
too.
lovely mum. I've got a lovely mother-in-law. You've got a lovely
Mum's got a
nan.
lovely mum.
Yeah,
David's got a lovely mum.
yeah. Dave's got a lovely mum, and so we've been very blessed
And
with that.
other female figures, although it can also be male figures as well on Mother's Day. It doesn't just have to be female figures, depending on the situation, who you want to celebrate on Mother's Day.
Yeah, I get that. I get that there's not necessarily, and I use inverted commas, what people would perhaps some time ago see as a conventional family of a mum, dad and children. That's not how the world works. That's not how life is. So whoever, and I think we've said this before, whoever is that role model or that figure in your family.
Could be your work mum as well.
Yeah. Have you got a work mum?
I say my boss can be a little bit like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks after you, keeps an
Yeah.
eye out for you and that.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, well, I think the key thing as well with seeing that your sister and my daughter having a first child, which we've just said he's now sort of 8.5 months old or whatever. So
8 months old.
8 months old, right? Okay.
And like a week.
What is very evident that when you become a mother, so we've been lucky. The mothers in our lives have made things look very, very easy, but that's not necessarily the case. And I think it must be very daunting to be a first-time mum.
Are you wanting me to give them advice?
Well, I think really there's books out there that are sort of designed to give people information. And obviously, mums
That's what books are meant to do.
Yeah, they are. So that's generally what books are. I've gone back to me pop-up books. That's a completely different thing altogether. To information, but do they give them just facts? Do they actually show it as it really is?
Can I just say, you're feeling really cold right now.
Am I?
Yeah, it feels like there's a draft in here.
I am a little bit, yeah. I am a little bit cold.
To your pop-up books.
So I was going to suggest that we could look at putting some books together. You know, just some sort of simple, almost children's books for ones that new mums can read with their young infant.
I feel like I know where this is going. Carry on.
No. So I've called these the Hey Baby set of books, right? I think there's something worth doing here.
What, like the song?
Is there a song called Hey Baby? Hey, baby. Ooh.
Hey, baby.
Ooh. It makes mummy really sad when your nappy overflows with... And I actually wrote it down there. I nearly said it. You'd have had to bleep that out. So, hey baby, it makes mummy sad when your nappy overflows with poo. Hey baby, I'm too tired to be angry, but please respect my personal space.
Nice.
Hey baby, only footballers are allowed to dribble. Are you a footballer? I thought not.
Yet.
Hey baby, I'm not changing your outfit again. It's like living with Lady Gaga.
Right, nice.
Hey baby, just 'cause you're cute doesn't make you right. And I think these sort of books are going to give the children as well, as they grow a little bit and they start to understand what the words mean and that, it's going to make them understand that you know, they have to make an effort as well. They have to try.
It's a two-way street,
It
isn't it?
is a two-way street. It seems that at the moment...
'Cause I think
some
I've
of
done
the
an excellent job of being a child so far.
Yeah, but some of these babies, they don't even bother. They just take, and they don't give anything back, you know?
That's what
So-
Mother's Day's all about.
Huh?
That's what Mother's Day's all about.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. So, you know, they'd have things in there like sort of, hey, baby, why are you moaning so much? On global issues, you're way out of touch. Hey, baby, there are starving people around the world. If I ate as much as you, I'd want to hurl. Hey, baby, why are you wearing expensive shoes? You can't walk and they look ridiculous on you. Hey, baby, I know you want to scream and fight, but just shut the fudge up. It's the middle of the night. See, something like that,
Yeah.
with some lovely illustrations in the book, I think could really help some first-time mums get through that period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Oh, that was lovely. Now, I sense it's nearly time for a song, but just before we do, it is worth just remembering, and my throat has gone weird for a moment, don't really know why. Better?
Oh, great.
Great. That Annie, after this song, we're going straight into the bit with Annie.
Is she back then?
Yep, she's due back any moment now. Just for clarity, there may be some continuity errors in the fact that we said stuff then that don't make sense from what we've already said.
Okay. I don't really understand
Just
what
the way
that
we
means.
speak to her is like it's the beginning of a podcast.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
But we have to take the opportunities while people are with us to be able to do these things. So
Yeah.
anyway,
So a song.
yes, a song. I've written a song about lovely mums, and it's called "Why
It's
I
a bit like My Lovely Horse.
My Lovely Horse."
My lovely horse.
And it's called "Why We Love Our Mums," I believe.
You believe it's
I
good,
always
but
forget what I've called it.
do you
But
need me
yes.
to check?
No, you're all right. I'm pretty sure it's called that.
You're pretty
But it's
sure
a
it's
little
called
song I've put together.
Our Lovely Mums. Or what did you, Why We Love Our Mums.
That's what I said, isn't it?
Is it?
Continuity.
Okay. Anyway, we'll play the song, but remember to stick around for Annie in just a moment.
Okay.
There is nothing quite like a mum. They'll make your tea and wipe your bum. They're always there and they're so much fun. That's why we love our mums. They pick us up when we take a tumble. They'll keep us clean, polite and humble. They make a damn good apple crumble. That's why we love our mums. They hold our hands as we cross the road. They hold us close when we're sad or cold. They're still our mums when they're grey and old. We'll always love our mums. They hold our hands as we cross the road. They hold us close when we're sad or cold. They're still our mums when they're grey and old. We'll always love our mums. Always there, our ever present. Our guardian angels, they're heaven sent. Our broken hearts they'll always mend. That's why we love our mums. So visit, phone or write a letter, because in this world there's no one better. Alas, they won't be around forever, but always in our hearts. As we cross the road, they hold us close when we're sad or cold. They're still our mums when they're grey and old. We'll always love our mums. They hold our hands as we cross the road. us close when we're sad or cold. They say their mums when they're grey and old. We'll always love our mums.
Game time.
Well, it is time for us to play a little bit of a game. We actually have got Annie joining us today, as you would have heard right at the beginning.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. It's great to catch up.
Oh, you're waiting for me to say
Yeah,
something?
well, it feels like you should be involved.
Oh, well, I will be involved. Yeah, this is good to see you. Thanks. Yeah, lovely.
Are you okay?
No, I'm really, really tired.
It's buffering.
I am.
buffering.
I'm sort of buffering. No, it's good. So what we're going to do, I believe, is we're going to ask a few questions of the new mother.
Of the new mum.
Of the new mum, just
Although,
to get a little bit of an insight on what it's like to be a new mum.
What was it like when you became a mum?
It was a very different time. There was different pressures. A lot was expected of me, but you know, I performed as well as I could perform. What are you talking about? And that was aimed at me then, really more than anybody else. Yeah, no, as a new dad, I think probably I've spoken about this before.
You're not my real mum.
No, you're not my real mum. But yes, it's exciting and it's frightening and it's everything else. But anyway,
Yeah. It's all about you, Dad.
it's not about me today. It's about mothers today. So,
Mothers today.
how are we going to play this then? I've got.
I'm going to click play on the sting.
You're going to play Sting first?
Yeah.
Okay, play Sting.
Next up on this week's Father on Sundays, a Q&A with a guest. She's not long taken up the role of a mother. There's no doubt she'll ace this little test. It's not a test.
So, I think we're about to get into things, but you're a...
What about the Sting?
Oh,
I thought that was one of the best stings we've ever done.
It's a
I
great
really enjoyed
sting.
it.
You really
Yeah.
I
enjoyed
really enjoyed
You
it.
really enjoyed the sting.
Top
Yeah.
Sting.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're a long-term listener,
I am, yes,
Yeah.
right from the start.
but you've appeared on the podcast in some form a number of times.
Voice notes usually.
Voice notes, yeah. But never actually live recording.
No,
And here you are. It's because you live a long way away.
I do,
Yeah.
yeah. It took me 3 hours to get here this morning. Luckily,
Yeah.
the baby slept most of the way.
Because you are a mum.
I am a mum.
Yeah,
With
let's
a
not forget
baby.
that. It's
Hmm.
Mother's Day.
It
After
is
all.
Mother's Day. It's the whole point of this, yeah.
Yeah.
So shall we find
not
a little bit
Mother's Day
more?
yet.
No. Shall we find a little bit more about this person? Because the first question I've got is, can you give us your full name?
But you don't have to give us your full name. You can give us your first if you prefer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you probably don't want
We
to.
don't force people to do
And
so.
not your address.
I mean, they know our surname.
Oh, I'm Annie, formerly known as Harris, but I'm now Walker.
Oh.
Okay. And these are sort of control
They
questions.
call
these
you-
ones. No. No, we're not allowed to do that joke. Right, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 31.
You had to
I
think
had to
about that,
think
didn't
about
you?
that. I did,
31,
yeah. I've just had a
31.
birthday. I'm 31.
Height?
Just had a birthday.
About a month ago, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, at the time of recording, about a month ago.
At the time of record, yeah, at the time of record, yeah.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
recording, it's a few weeks.
Yeah.
Over a few weeks. Wow. It's close to your next birthday. It's not. Next.
Height?
Hi.
I am 5'1.5".
Remember, these are control questions, so I'll be able to tell if you're lying.
5'1.5".
5'1.5". We will
Thank
be
you.
checking that. Favourite colour?
Pink.
Pink. Right. Okay.
Interesting.
When
What
did
colour's
you?
your hair?
Oh, right. Hang on. We're going to go.
Kind of like an auburn, chestnutty colour.
I'm going to bear that in mind when people next ask me what colour's Annie's hair, and I go, I don't know, because people do ask me that sometimes. And there was a period where
Who's
Annie's.
asking you what colour my hair is?
I don't know really.
What sort
But-
of weird?
No, but I have had these questions in the past, and I'm like, I don't know, because there was a period you changed your hair colour quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. I've been most hair colours.
And people go, what's your sister's hair colour? If someone asks me what Becky's hair colour is, she's always been a brunette. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although she's got blonde bits now because she wants to be more like me. And I go, yeah, brunette. But now,
Is that why she's growing a beard as well?
yeah, she's growing a beard 'cause she's trying to be more like me. But Annie, on the other hand, I was like,
Every hair colour. Dad, do you remember when I talked you into dyeing my hair black?
Yes.
I had actually asked Mum and she said no.
Really? I don't know if I knew that. No. So, yeah, and you ruined a lot of towels doing that.
The
Yeah.
bathroom was awful.
Oh, it's
I like the
unbelievable.
Do you remember when you had the blonde with the purple bit?
Yeah, and I had the bright pink bit as well, didn't I?
Yeah,
I liked that, but blonde is hard to maintain.
yeah.
Sorry, anyway, back to your questions.
I mean, it
Okay,
was a question,
right.
but
So let's talk a
If you
little
don't
bit.
like it, we'll move on.
Right. When did you become a mum?
I became a mum on the 10th of July 2022.
And what is your baby's name?
My baby's name is David,
Oh, fantastic name.
named
right.
after both of his granddads.
Yes, absolutely. Right, okay. I'm going to take you back to before you gave birth. What was the best thing about being pregnant?
I think something to bear in mind is, bear in mind your height. You had quite a big bump, didn't you?
I did. I was so uncomfortable by the end. The best bit about pregnancy, there was a brief window in the second trimester where I was somewhat comfortable and I had a bit of energy. But feeling him kick for the first time has got to
I
be up
imagine
there
that. Yeah.
with one of the best moments. And just seeing how my bump was growing was
I always
lovely.
find weird when you look at those videos of
It just didn't stop.
Not growing,
kick
no.
your bladder and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Use
all
my
your organs
bladder as a
move around, don't
stress
they?
toy. Yes, they do. Everything moves upwards to make room for the baby.
And have they moved back?
No, actually, interestingly, they don't just snap back. It does take quite a long time for everything to go back. I think they say it's up to 2 years for everything to go
What?
back to normal. Yeah, honestly, that's why they say wait a little while before you have another baby, because it's not just everything downstairs that needs to be okay.
Oh, she said downstairs.
She's talking about
Yes.
lady bits.
Lady bits.
But it's everything internally needs to go back to normal. But also, no one talks to you about the influx of hormones that happens when after you've had a baby. Like when the milk comes in and everything, it's wild. Pregnancy and motherhood is wild.
And so if I had to do an emergency operation on you, I
Right.
would struggle to find the organs. Are you hollow now?
I'm not
Then
hollow, no.
interesting.
No, I don't think anyone's hollow.
Yeah, but like if everything's moved.
Yeah, Connor. I don't think anybody's hollow, you idiot.
Oh,
What a question. Trying
Mr. Potato
trying
Head.
to be professional. Okay, that was one of the best. Well, you've touched on it a little bit. What was the worst thing about being pregnant? I'm guessing it was the.
Just how uncomfortable I was because
'Cause
he
it
was
was-
so
it was
he
hot
was
as
so
well,
big.
wasn't it? 'Cause
Oh
it
gosh,
was- it
because
was the
he's
summer
a
that-
July baby as well, and I think it was about a week after he was born we had that.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Horrendous heat wave.
because we went to go see you, didn't we?
Oh my god, trying to keep a newborn somewhat comfortable and keep myself somewhat comfortable, and I've had major surgery at this point as well, so it's not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
In 40-degree weather was not
good.
fun at all. But no, I was very, very big and quite early on, so it was
and
uncomfortable.
I appreciate the fact that you did have major surgery when you had David. But did you when you were able to kind of stand, did you notice a difference in how you felt? Like, did you feel like you were going to float off because you were that much lighter?
No, so I mean, it was weird the first time standing up because the spinal takes quite a few hours to wear off, and you have to make.
Spinal.
So I had
The,
an injection
yeah.
into my spine to make everything.
What's it called? It's got a name, hasn't it?
So there's two. You either have the spinal or you have the epidural. So it's different to an epidural.
Right. I was thinking the epidural.
Because an epidural, you're still sort of aware. I think there is something.
Something different
There is
between
a
the two.
difference, yeah. So that takes several hours to wear off, and
Were
you
you
have to make sure you've
conscious?
got. Yes, I was totally conscious the whole time.
Like, as in, like, not even fuzzy brain kind
No,
of stuff?
there was a weird.
Like, drunk.
There was a weird moment. So
I think
they
that's what he's trying to get at.
when they do it, they have to then quickly, because you have to be sat up, so you're sitting up and sort of leaning forward, so that they can do it in exactly the right spot.
Oh, I thought you meant when they were actually pushing out, because like a toothpaste tube.
Could you
It's really annoying when someone does it from the end. Doesn't roll it up. Okay.
Oh, but they have to then quickly lie you down on this like, surgical bench.
It's not comfortable, no.
Well, I mean,
Is it metal?
It is metal, but I mean,
it
I
cold?
couldn't feel anything, so
Ah, good point.
I didn't really.
Did you ever get concerned that because it was a cold bench, you might get piles?
No,
No.
that's
Okay.
literally the least of my concerns at that moment in time.
Right.
The last thing on my mind. But they have like a bottle of water and they sprayed it on my arm and they said, "Can you feel that?" And I said yes. And then they sprayed it sort of like on my tummy and I couldn't feel it. And they
that's
sprayed it on my
weird.
legs and I honestly
Really, that was their test.
couldn't feel a thing.
No, what they're actually
Couldn't
telling her to
feel
get
a
off
thing.
the furniture because she wasn't meant to be on the bench. They
Yeah.
just sprayed her.
Okay. Come on.
Do
In your
bad
box.
cat.
In your box.
So yeah, once they were confident that I couldn't feel anything, that's when they
Wow.
started. But they have a big curtain,
So you can't see it.
so I can't see.
Could Chris see it?
I think if he had moved a little bit,
Did he
might
want
have-
to?
Not
Into
really.
the room.
Although, fun fact: did you know that? Sorry, I'll do that in a dad way. Did you know
Oh, a little bit higher.
He can't hit that, though.
that the lights, the surgical lights, are mirrored? So I'm looking at Chris this direction, to the left, for those who can't see me, talking to him.
Thank you for explaining it, because I wasn't going to.
He was to my left and I was talking to him and we were just sort of, we're about to meet our son, like how amazing is this, lots of I loved yous and really wonderful moment. And then I was aware that they had pulled baby out, and I waited for that cry and it didn't happen straight away. And Chris's eyes kind of moved and I was like, "Can you see him?" And I kind of moved over and glanced at these lights, which are mirrored. So I have actually seen my insides.
Oh, that's weird. You never
Yeah.
see your own insides.
Hang
And I've always
on.
wondered
No.
about what my insides look like.
What do you mean? No. Granted, I might not want to know the answer to this, right? But when you say you saw your insides,
Yeah.
What bits
Literally
did you see?
the inside of my body. So a C-section is actually cutting through 7 different layers of skin,
Right,
fat,
yeah.
muscle.
so
Yeah.
you're basically saying, like you would see on any sort of operation, where that you're seeing up at the lights, you can see the reflection
Yeah.
because it's like mirrored. You can see what. Oh, right, I'm with you.
And
Yeah.
is this how you know you're not hollow?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad we sorted that one out.
Okay.
But yeah, he did then cry after a while, but he was blue when he came out.
Oh, I
so
thought
they
you were
needed
talking
to
about
give him
Chris
a
then.
bit of oxygen. And then he was
Absolutely
absolutely
fine,
And
yeah.
actually they told me that, he's ticklish, by the way. I was like,
Oh, I know that. We were
okay.
tickling him earlier on.
Well, they're not all. Well, I suppose not all people are ticklish, are they?
He is very ticklish.
He is very ticklish.
He is very ticklish.
He's very cute.
Yeah, he is.
He's got a
He's
good
gorgeous.
old tuft of hair on the top of his head as well.
He's got a good
I
child.
mean, we are a bit biased, but
Yeah,
he is.
he's a
He is
smasher.
amazing.
Okay, so what's the best bits about being a mum?
Just how every day is different. Everything, like no 2 days that I've had with him have been the same. He's learning something new every day. Comes with like new challenges and stuff, but like he's eating now. Like we've just had a family dinner, and he's actually sat at the table with us for the first time.
He
And
was kind of gross, but yeah.
you don't deal well
He
with that.
deliberately sat him opposite you, I think. For,
No, but I wasn't in the splash zone. That's what
I was
happy
in the
with. But I
splash
just
zone,
had to sit
but
next
it
to
was
Becky.
fine.
Oh, but he wasn't that bad.
no, he's just sticking things.
Compared to how some babies do eat.
Oh no,
there
he
was
wasn't.
Just getting
minimal,
on.
To be fair, I saw nothing on the table really.
and there was nothing on the floor.
No,
No, he managed to catch the garlic bread in his neck at one point.
that's a good trick if you can do it.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
But also hearing him laugh.
Oh, he's got
Yeah,
that's
good
yeah,
laugh,
hands down the
though.
best
yeah,
bit.
when you
Yeah,
a
when
good
you
old
were
chuckle.
blowing raspberries on his neck earlier, he had a proper good laugh.
Oh yeah.
And
does a
I never see him laugh more than when he's laughing at you. That
Really?
sounds funny.
I think
Maybe. we-
Chris
Okay,
can make
fair
him
enough.
laugh the most. He just, when he sees Chris come home from work, he just lights up.
I think it's just the two of you.
Which
To
is
be fair,
wonderful.
that's what's amazing. It's the two of you. You both really make him chuckle, but you know what makes him chuckle.
Yeah. Kind of
Okay.
cheap.
But he's so smiley. Anyway, let's carry on.
What's your favourite part of David?
Oh, his chunky thighs.
Chucky Fires, love it, right. Okay, what do you think his first word will be?
Mum, 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 mum.
Do you reckon? Is that because
You're
you're going
really
to...
trying, aren't
Oh,
you?
well,
I think
he
we've-
kind of makes the sound, but I'm not treating it as his first word.
Do
but
they
he
say,
does,
is it...
when he cries,
for
he goes,
the-
Mama.
Is it Dada is easier for him to say? Is that why that
So,
sometimes?
There are some people that say that dad or dada or some sort of variation on that is the most common first word for a baby, because the dad is the first new person
Oh,
that
right,
they
okay.
know, because they see themselves
As
as
you.
like an extension of their mum. They are at one with their mum, so the dad is the first new whole
Hmm.
person, which is why dada is usually the first.
Oh, well, we've had this conversation already because your sister, what are you referring to her as? As
Auntie BB.
Auntie BB. But she was saying to me already that she thinks she's going to say BB before he says my name.
Is it ba, 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 ba?
But I've changed my name to... So he's now doing that already. So I think I've
You know
beaten
what?
everything.
I think his first words are going to be, Chip, get off that.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, Chip. Will he be taller than you?
That's
Yes.
Annie's dog,
Well,
just to clarify.
at what age? 5, 6?
Well, they
He's
say
about
that
half the size.
you are half the height you're going to be by the time you're 2 years old.
Really?
Man, he's going to be massive.
Well,
Chris,
he
yeah,
was
like his dad.
He's already
Yeah.
His dad
4
is
foot.
6+, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
That age. That's
Yeah.
height.
You would hope so.
To be fair, that he is 6+ though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is 6+ as well. But what I'm saying is, yeah, he's 6 foot plus. But you never know whether a child is going to take after its mum, dad, or both, sort of thing.
I think
Anyway,
it's-
he looks like you,
Do you
but
think?
then you say, I think because I've seen, obviously we've got
I do see a
photos
bit
of
of Chris in
you
him.
when you're that age, and there's something about his eyes and that it just looks like you. But I think equally you've said about him looking like Chris. So, but it's interesting with babies because some people say, "Oh, babies don't look like anything; they look like babies." That's rubbish.
I think the back of his head looks like mine. Not
Yeah.
now. Back of my head now, but when I was younger.
I think, I see
His
a lot of
thighs
you.
are like mine.
I do see.
Yeah, you've got lovely squishy thighs. haven't you?
Squishy thighs. Everybody says so.
I do see a lot of you.
Yeah, I do.
I
Loads,
sometimes look
too
at him
much.
and I see Becky. But then sometimes I look at him and I just really see Chris, and obviously see a lot of Chris's side of the family
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. There was, I think, on the first day he was born, I looked and I saw David Walker Senior, David's other granddad, a lot. So yeah, he
Well, I
kind of
always-
he changes
I think
a
we've
lot.
said about it before, but on this
He's a
podcast
really
we've
good
said about it.
impressionist.
But when Conor was born, and I had maintained before that babies were babies, and I turned around and looked at him in the cot, because the first time I properly looked at him was when the midwife had put him in the cot, and I was just completely gobsmacked because I looked at him and I could immediately see my side of the family without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. And it was quite sort of, I don't know, just very surprising. I was a bit gobsmacked, to be honest. I was just sort of watching him. And I mean, now you're older, you look like
Homeless.
yeah, you look like a bum, like a hobo. But at the time, you didn't have the beard. So it didn't.
That only came
Oh
in
my
when I was
God.
2.
Yeah.
When I was
Could you
half the height
imagine?
I was going to be.
Oh, if he had a beard when he came out,
Oh
that'd
my
have been
god!
really.
Oh, the
I'd
heartburn
have
that
loved
mum would
it.
have
Carpet
suffered
burn.
would have been.
I'd have loved it, but it would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? What'd you say?
It's a
Ti-
carpet burn.
Carpet burn, yeah, tiggled.
That's
What could I
Annie
say?
gone.
Like Velcro. Could have been had a right old job getting him out.
We might have to talk for a moment whilst Annie recovers.
Right, you've got some other questions, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got some other questions. So Dad wrote a bunch of questions and he said additions, and I went, yes, please. So my first question for you, Annie. If you were to compare David to a fruit, what would he be, and how many of those things could he be? So I'm also counting things like grapes, like a lot of grapes.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of grapes, they're called when you get them.
Load
Yeah,
of
but
grapes.
like multiple bunches.
Oh,
He's-
multiple bunches.
He'd be multiple bunches of grapes if he was grapes.
Okay, all right. Just clarifying that.
Possibly like a mango.
A mango. How many mangoes?
Just like one really big mango.
Ah, like it's on steroids?
Yeah, like
Okay.
from a tropical
Because
country.
he used to
Have
be
you-
like a potato, but that's a vegetable, so we can't do that.
Yeah,
Have
no.
you? Well,
I quite
actually,
often
that
refer
was
to him as
interesting because
potato.
when that's new as well. When you were pregnant, you used to send us quite regularly. He's now the size of, and
Oh,
he went
yeah.
from inanimate objects at one point, which was a bit bizarre. I've got to be honest. To fruits and veg.
Well, yeah. So
Can I just point out fruits and veg are inanimate objects?
Well, they're not in. Oh yeah, they are. Aren't they? Yeah, but they're living.
I guess they grow, don't they?
they're living things.
The app that I used, you could actually change it.
Are they not?
Living things, yeah. Sorry, Annie. The app you use, you could change it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so you could change it from fruits and vegetables, bakery items, and toys. I think on animals.
I remember seeing the
but
hands thing.
my point being is the
Yeah.
toys thing. That's not a thing that grows. It's not a thing that actually is. It
You okay?
grows.
Yeah, but no. But on that,
I think you're hanging on the grows
with like
bit a bit too much.
with a grape,
Yeah.
it's a grape when it's fully grown. It's not
It's
following the
average
life
size.
cycle of a grape. So it's the same as with
Wow,
like
it's
when
got a bit
he was the size of a
complicated. There was
skateboard.
I did think they'd run out of ideas at one point because there was about 15 different melons. And
was
some
a
of them
lot
I'd
of
never
melons.
even. Yeah.
I didn't know there's that many melons.
Well, that's
Yeah,
it.
but there's
You need to get
different-
pregnant sometimes to find these things
different
out.
species, isn't there? Different.
Right.
What's
oh,
happened
bless
there?
you. Oh, dear. She just wet herself.
Been-
Right.
Oh, she's on my bed.
Yeah, I know. That's what would
Luckily,
be funny.
that's actually, I think, the quietest sneeze I've ever heard Annie do.
Yeah.
They're normally like ear piercing, and
Yeah.
I was really thankful she turned away from the mic because that I would have burst my eardrums because I'm wearing headphones.
Okay, what's your next one?
My next question: how many marshmallows do you think it would take to match David's weight?
Oh God, so many.
How much does he weigh
I
now?
don't even know.
I know I did intend to get the
don't
correct
know. 5
answer
stones.
for this, but I don't know his weight, and I also don't know the weight of a marshmallow. So this is just a guess.
Okay, well, we can work that out at a later stage. I don't know how much he weighs. I'm a terrible mother and I don't weigh him regularly. I go by how many
Yeah.
do I have to do before I pick him up.
Today it was 5.
He is a lump.
He is quite.
heavy.
He's quite solid.
Well,
Yeah.
the last time
Yeah, he whacked his
the
head
last
on the
time I
piano
had him
yesterday.
weighed,
One more piano.
oh my God, was he 4
Oh,
months?
that piano. Right. Okay.
It might have been when he was exactly 4 months because the health visitor came and he was just under £17, I think.
Wow, that's expensive.
And what is that in modern money?
Yeah. Have you got any other questions that are more metric?
This one isn't metric. This isn't quantitative. This is qualitative.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe David's personality?
Oh,
Just wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just wonderful. He's happy, he's content, and just a very chilled little baby.
Okay.
He's not really he's not a screamer.
Okay.
I
Now
would-
bear that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'd like you to think of a celebrity that best matches David's personality. But don't tell us. Don't tell us. Because what we're going to do is we're going to try and work out who that celebrity is by asking you only closed questions.
Okay, hang
What?
on. I'm gonna have to just give me a moment.
all right.
All right.
I think I'm going to need a moment as
In it-
well.
in it-
What's?
what?
Why can I think of no celebrities at
Oh,
all?
is it like sort of? She can only say yes or no.
Closed questions, a yes or no, or like, yeah, just kind of,
Yes or no.
yeah.
So it's a who am I really?
Well, yes, less yes or no. Because, like, you could go,
Okay, yeah, I've got
oh,
one.
you've got one. we did well within that gap. For some reason, she looked over to that corner of the room. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking.
I've got a clay head over there. Is it the guy from Art Attack? Okay, so let's ask. Right, male?
Yes.
Yeah, thought so.
Actor?
Yes.
Oh, comedic actor?
No.
Oh,
No. I don't.
is he in any Marvel films?
Yes.
Is he American?
No.
Oh, is it Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wow, that was really good.
Do you agree?
I mean, he's quite flexible.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like with the personality being like quite happy, chilled.
Yeah, no,
comes
that's true.
across as very...
That's true. And also, David does accidentally tell a lot of secrets, spill a lot of beans and stuff like that. So
I
he
often
did literally
find I
spill
walk in a
beans,
room,
which
I
made me
can't find him,
cringe.
and he's up in the corner.
yeah, it's when he's sitting in the corner.
Right, that really passed me by that round.
Yeah.
That question, yeah.
Okay. When will David have knees?
When will David have knees?
We're talking about kneecaps.
Yeah, I was going to
Kneecaps.
say, define that, because he's got knees.
I just did kneecaps.
Oh, right, sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
So babies aren't born with kneecaps.
Are they not?
No.
No.
Is that true, or is he winding me
No,
up?
no,
'Cause
that
he
is
does
true.
this a lot.
If you well, not right now because he's asleep, and I will hurt you if you wake him up.
Wow. That's a side
I
of
actually
her.
feel quite threatened. We weren't.
My
she
mama
forced
bear
us to do
comes
this.
out. Yeah, they're actually being held at gunpoint right now. No, if you feel where his knees are, they're squishy.
So at what point do babies grow kneecaps then?
A couple of
Well,
years.
this is what I was asking. This was the question, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I don't-
I think it's a couple of years.
Okay. My next follow-up question: will you consider having a separate birthday party for his knees on the anniversary of when he grows them?
No.
Interesting.
For knees, a good, jolly good fellow. For knees. Can I sing that? Can we have one just so I can sing that?
Annie?
I mean, you feel free to have a party
We'll have
for
a
his
party
knees
for
if
his
that's what you
knees,
want to
but you're
do.
going to need to let us know a little bit ahead of time so I can book the
The venue.
venue and the clowns.
Just to let you know, though, if you do have another child at any point, and you have a daughter, and they grow knees, then we can't have a niece party because it gets too confusing.
Yeah.
What is David's favourite TV show?
So he doesn't watch like TV shows necessarily, but he loves the Julia Donaldson short films. At the moment, the current favourite is the Smeds and the Smooths.
Which earlier we misheard as Smeg.
Yes, I didn't think it was appropriate, and then
Yes.
I went outside, so I didn't watch it anyway. But
Dad
he did seem
referred to it
quite
as the Smegs and the Smurf.
and the Smurfs, the Smegs and the Smurfs. He did look like he was enjoying it, I must admit.
Yeah, quite colourful. He did watch The Chase earlier though, but he did get upset when someone went for the lower offer.
Oh, he does look round every time the EastEnders theme tune comes on, though.
What does he
Oh.
go? Do. What, it looks from side to
Just to
side.
clarify, Dad was moving his head to
Yeah,
side to side
actually,
at
that didn't
point,
really work on a
yeah.
podcast.
No,
Right, anything
unfortunate,
else?
that joke. Yes. What is your favourite TV show?
Oh, see, I'm a creature of habit, and I watch the same TV shows over and over again.
You do actually, yeah. You used to watch Friends when you used to live here. Friends
Yeah.
used to be on all the time.
I think it's an anxiety thing. It's like a comfort blanket.
Yeah.
But no, Gilmore Girls is probably up there
Do
with
you know, I would have guessed that.
favourite. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched it here.
No, but I've been to yours.
Oh, it's been
and
on.
It's
on
been
repeat.
on repeat.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
there we go.
Very predictable.
Yeah. I've not watched Gilmore Girls.
You should. It's very good.
I'm actually out of physical questions, but I've just been thinking a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel weird to be in this room? Because this used to be your bedroom.
Yeah, a bit actually. I was just we were looking before we started recording at the door because we've got the heights of the three
You've
of
not
us.
grown since you're 5, have you?
I've not grown in a
Just
very long
established,
time.
yeah.
But no, it is weird. I pointed out that the fireplace isn't central, and I asked if it upsets you.
And I replied, yes. To be fair, I got over that. But you had this fireplace for such a long time, so did it not upset you when you were in the room?
If you remember, we had like a chest of drawers in front of it
Oh, you
for a
did,
very long
didn't you?
time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Becky was the one that uncovered it when she moved in, like when you moved out of this room and she kind of changed it up.
Yeah.
Also, do you ever have nightmares about Dad falling through the ceiling above your bed?
No.
Look,
No.
that's only happened twice So I don't think it's fair to keep bringing it up.
It was above Annie's bed, though, wasn't it?
I mean, my
it
bed
might have
was
been
there at one point,
point,
but my
yeah.
bed has also been over there.
I would like to stress that wasn't my fault. If
What, that
people
you fell through the
wouldn't-
ceiling?
if people will go, oh, can you get me this hat? Where is it? It's up in the loft, and I have to
Who
go
was
up
that?
and get it. That was you.
Was it?
Right. I like to go and get a jester's hat or something like that, I seem to remember. If I didn't get asked all these stupid things all the time, it wouldn't happen, would it? There you go. So it's really not my fault.
Have you considered
Interesting.
having the loft like boarded up?
It is, a lot of it is boarded. In fact, one of the few bits that isn't boarded is where I came through, obviously. But no, I'm sorting it out.
I'll be open and honest right now. Sometimes when Dad goes out up in the loft, when I'm sitting here at this desk,
Do you
I
move?
do panic a little bit for two reasons. One, if he falls through,
I
what if
might-
he lands on me?
And damage his stuff. That's
And
what
two
it's
is my
probably-
stuff.
It's not
you do
me.
have a lot of kit.
Yeah, there's a lot.
To be
of it.
fair, you'd only really damage the monitors, but it's because my desk is directly underneath the where the hole used to be. But I'm
Yeah,
glad
you
there is
can,
no longer
You
a
can
hole.
see where the hole's been patched up, though.
Yes.
But if we did paperwork on the and by paperwork I just mean admin tasks,
Yeah.
we just stuck them to the ceiling.
Yes.
What do you think David's dreaming about right now?
Possibly the Smeds and the Smoos.
I think that's what I'm
Probably
gonna be
all of
dreaming
your
about.
faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh God.
All merged into one. That's horrible.
Well, we'll see if we suddenly hear him cry because he's woken up from a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all you've
Interesting.
got?
Well, yes, that's all the questions I had.
Okay. Well, that has been rather an eye opener.
Have you got any questions for us?
Yeah, when are you becoming mothers?
I feel like I've fulfilled my parent part and parent part. That sounded a bit odd. Being a dad, it's like being a mum, but slightly different.
Yeah.
And you've got all that to look forward to, maybe. And I've just been kicking a box, yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't think I will become a mum.
No.
No, because I lack some of the key
Kit.
functions and kit
Yeah.
to be able to do so. But I am very much. I think the mums of the world are amazing because they managed to force a small human being,
Not so small sometimes.
not so small, out of a hole that really shouldn't be that big.
Wow. And on that note,
I mean, it is designed to
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
do that.
But it's mental. But the fact that they have to carry them for roughly 9 months and then expel them from their body.
expel them from their body.
Sometimes like Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because
obviously.
they do live cesareans or something like that. Like when I say live cesareans, yeah. But where they open them up and they let the baby kind of work their way out.
That's
What?
utterly ridiculous.
Are you
Utterly
serious?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing. They like kind of they open them up. They let the baby wriggle themselves out.
No, that's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
That can't be true. No,
Well,
I
We-
refuse to believe that.
you refuse to believe
I
it.
refuse
we'll
to
do a
believe
fact
that.
check on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to check because I'm pretty sure I've been told that someone did it.
No, that's fair enough. There's weird and wonderful things that happen around the world, so we'll check that one out. But what a note to end on.
And yeah, feels weird.
No, thank you very much for having me on.
That's all right. It's been
On this very
wonderful.
special day.
Thank you for being a mum.
Yes.
Not my mum,
That'd be a bit weird.
although you were a little bit like another mum to me growing up.
I think Becky and I both were. You had 3 mums growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that goes out to all mums of the world. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you to my mum. And thank you to my nans as well.
Yeah.
A couple of little things to just highlight. So, if you do want to send us a message, comment on the website.
Really?
You can do so on the website, fatherandsundays.com/contact us. But were you aware I was also doing a charity event, Annie?
Are you Really?
Yes, I am. And I'm climbing up 42 flights of stairs of a London skyscraper, then abseiling down the side of it.
That sounds insane.
It is insane. And that's in September. You can donate via the link, but there is a link on the website. If you go to fatherandsundays.com/charity, and you can go in there, donate through there as well. All the episodes available on there, but podcast platform, whichever one you use, Apple, Spotify, any of the others.
Wow.
They're there.
it's-
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like, follow, share.
Yeah,
Yeah. Should I have
Okay.
let you do that again?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you really struggled the last time you
well,
did it.
no, it was quite professional, but you sound really tired doing it. That's the thing. Okay, so we wrap this up then.
I think so, yeah.
So there's going to be 3 goodbyes. So it's good night, goodbye from me even.
Oh, and goodbye from me.
And happy Mother's Day and bye!